Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for your Friday Foundation Fix, where you can get your fix of foundation reviews in between foundation fests. It's the most wonderful time of the year. That was terrible, but we have lots of new foundation releases. Got another one. This is from ABH. It is Foundation. Like, just in case you forget what this is, just turn it over. Foundation. Retails for $38. This is the Luminous foundation. You get 1.01 fluid ounces of product. Don't spend that extra 0.01 all in one place. The reviews are currently 4.1 out of 5 stars with 18 reviews on Sephora's website. It comes in 50 different shades. It's a water-resistant liquid foundation that creates a luminous natural finish, long-wearing even without setting with powder. Medium coverage natural finish for normal, dry, combo, and oily, so we are running the gamut on skin types that it is made for. No parabens, no mineral oil. It is vegan, it is cruelty-free and gluten-free, and it does not cake or mask the skin's natural radiance. Easy to blend, goes on seamlessly, leaves the skin with a perfected-looking complexion, free of flashback or oxidation. I don't see any SPF in this, so why would there be flashback? Good question. The ingredients, it looks like it's your silicone-based primer foundation. I don't see any added fragrance in here. We'll see if it has a discernible scent. I don't have a very sensitive nose, so unless it's like screaming at me, I really tend not to notice it. So don't use me as a good judge of scent if you have a sensitive nose. Yeah, I don't see anything else interesting as far as ingredients go. So let's take a look. I've got shade 140N. This was the color IQ that Sephora does where they put that little thing on your face and come up with your color. That says I should be 130N, which is very fair with neutral pink undertone. I went 140N online because that color match thing wasn't available when I ordered this. 140N is for fair skin with a neutral peach undertone. I'm thinking, it's summertime. I'm about a half shade to a shade darker than I am in the winter. So very fair versus fair. We'll see. I've got 140N. Let's check this one swatched against a few others in my collection. You guys know the drill. On Fridays, we swatch. First up is today's foundation, the ANASTASIA Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation in shade 140N. Second, I've got the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation in shade 1CR Cool Rosy. Fourth is the MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last, I've got the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie in shade LP4. I have primed with the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I'm starting out with a 44-year-old face. Sun damage, I have some deeper smile lines, forehead lines, I do have larger pores that like to be accentuated on my cheeks here, some texture between the eyebrows. I do have a little bit of peeling, flaking going on right now. I don't know if it's, getting back into my skincare routine after I was traveling for a couple months or I was on some medication recently, but I do have some peeling going on my cheeks and on my nose and on my forehead, so we will see how this foundation handles that. I'm hoping that maybe the Tatcha will glue some of the peelies to my face. I can't see them after I've done all my skincare, but foundation, it can bring the worst out in the peely world. I will go on one side of my face with a sponge. This is a Juno microfiber sponge. It has been dampened. The other side, I will use a brush. This is the It Cosmetics Airbrush Blurring Foundation Brush. It's not dirty. That color there's some kind of supposedly skincare in the brush, and I think that's probably a bunch of hogwash, but, whatevs. We have a glass bottle. Yeah, I think that's glass. Pump. I don't understand that, really. I don't get it. It's okay, though. It's okay. They are not kidding. This is super, super easy to blend out. And knock on wood, I don't think it is clinging to any of my peeling skin, which is holy cow. Holy cow. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty. That's pretty. I would say light medium coverage. I'm getting good cancellation of redness. I can still see just a bit of sunspots and freckles poking through, but definitely good redness cancellation right off the bat. Let's try the brush side. I think this is blending out really fine either way. It might have been a little bit easier to blend out with the sponge. Honestly, I think the sponge might even have slightly better coverage, which is surprising. It's usually the opposite, but I think preference in terms of the finish I'm getting, whatever you prefer. If you like a sponge, go sponge. If you like a brush, go brush. I have just a little bit left, and I'm going to use the sponge to kind of try and even out the areas that have just a little bit less coverage. And I want to try to cover up these little sunspots right here. That built up nicely. This is a beautiful finish. It is luminous without being super dewy. I wouldn't say it is super dewy. It just has a nice, that lit from within kind of glow to it. The coverage looks really good. It's a nice medium coverage, I would say. It's doing a brilliant job at not accentuating the peeling on my upper lip or on my cheeks. The only way I can tell that I even have peeling is if I look really closely into my 10x mirror here. The only place it is clinging just a little bit is along my forehead hairline, where I do have some pretty peely skin going on up there, but every place else, which I'm filming this the day after. So yesterday I filmed the Kevyn Aucoin foundation balm, which if you saw that, you saw how peely I was, and you saw how accentuated the peelies were with that foundation. It's tomorrow. I filmed that yesterday. So I'm filming this the very next day. My skin has not miraculously healed itself overnight, because if it did, I would be doing a video on how I accomplished that. So thumbs up to the ability to wear this while flaking and peeling, because I think this looks absolutely beautiful for that circumstance right now. Let's check the time. Wow, I have a lot of notifications that I haven't paid any attention to. It is 12:55. Let's call it 1 o'clock. Let me put the rest of my face on. I'll be right back. So far, so good. The foundation stayed a bit tacky. I know they mentioned not setting it with powder, but it stayed a little too tacky that I was nervous to blend powder on top. So I just set this area of my cheeks and then the very outer perimeter where I apply blush, bronzer, highlight, and I used my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, and that made blending happen just fine, had no issues. I didn't want to lose the radiant finish, because it's so pretty, and so I did set that area of my face. Everything went fine. I think this looks beautiful. I think I'm kind of excited at the color match. I think it's going to be pretty good. We will check it outside, of course. The rest of my face, I've got the Balm Desert Bronzer, e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in Always Rosy. Highlight, where did it go? You guys know what it is. Natasha Denona Super Glow. On my eyes, I have a look that I did using the Alter Ego Daydream palette. Now, I have a little story to tell. I was outside taking pictures. Oh, there's a beautiful butterfly on my deck. Why can I not? They never come when I have like a camera ready. Look at it just having a happy day, flapping its little wings. It's so pretty. Looks like it's blue. Anyway, I want to plant a pollinator garden in my yard, but the deer will eat everything. Cute butterfly. Okay. Distractions. Shiny. Here's the story. I was taking pictures of this palette outside. I dropped it, which led me to discover that these are actually magnetic palettes, and all of the shadows are magnetic pans. So if you're the kind of person that likes to depot your palettes, bravo, it's super easy with the Alter Ego palettes. The downside is I don't think I got all the colors back in the right spots. And of course they're named, so I probably won't do a tutorial with this because I screwed up all the colors, and anyway, but none of them broke. Like, I mean, it dropped off my deck railing onto my deck and all the pans went flying. So, serious trauma. No breakage. I will say that there are some gasp-worthy shimmers in here. So pretty. Anyway, you'll see the picture of the palette before I dropped it on my Instagram one of these days. But thumbs up, Alter Ego. Loving what you got going on here. My lip, I'm a little outside my comfort zone with the peachy shade. I did a little ombre thing. Loving the formula of these Ultra HD vinyls from Revlon. So I took a little birthday suit on the outer part of my lips, and then this is Act Natural, I think is the name, on the inner portion of my lids to kind of mimic the purple into peach that I have going on my eyes. And that is where we are starting out. I will come back in a bit with a daylight check-in. Then I'll come back at the end of the night, give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, daylight check-in from the garage because it is pouring rain out here. And I don't think I'm going to get a chance to get outside without getting soaking wet. Although it did claim to be water resistant, so I don't know, maybe that would be fun. But here is the color match arm, neck. Pretty good match, I think. I think it's pretty good. We are at about the 6-hour mark, and I think everything is holding up pretty well. My forehead is showing a little bit of lines, but generally speaking, I think it looks pretty good. Let's see how close we can get it to focus here. It's only mildly creepy. Definitely a dewy finish. It has gotten a little bit more luminous throughout the day, I would say. Losing maybe a little coverage on my chin, but overall, I think we are looking pretty good. I'll be back tonight with my final thoughts. 10:57 p.m. That puts us just approaching the 10-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation held up. Generally speaking, this has been comfortable to wear all day. It's pretty lightweight. It's not the most lightweight thing, but it's more lightweight than average, I would say. So it's a comfortable thing to wear. On the downside, I feel like it's a tiny bit drying. I am feeling a little tight, a little dry. Not quite to the point where I'm itchy, but I feel tightness in my cheeks when I smile, and that's my skin getting dehydrated. So it is slightly drying. If you have very dry skin, this might be something that you want to try before you commit some money to it. Overall, let's take a look at how it is looking and wearing at the 10-hour mark. Coverage is pretty much worn off of my chin, and it's doing that thing where it kind of bunches up and sort of cakes up around movement areas. My upper lip is pretty cakey. It's missing off of my nose in some places, but also gathering and bunching up in some other places. Cheeks, blush, bronzer, highlight looks very much still intact, which is nice, although along the side of my face I am getting a little bit of caking and bunching up there. In between my eyebrows looks fine. I'm missing a little bit of coverage there, and it does seem to be breaking apart pretty much on my forehead. I also have some, micro wrinkles that you can see on my forehead, so my forehead is looking a bit dehydrated as well. So if I had to give a grade to this foundation, it wears well. 10 hours is decent wear. It's comfortable. It doesn't settle into fine lines. It does do some weirdness. My deepest chin line has some weirdness going on. But it looks beautiful. I wish it blurred pores just a little bit better. But because it is so tolerant of the peeling skin, that earns it some big points because that's very hard to do. I'm going to go like a 90% A-, like a low A-. It is just squeaking into the A category because I really like that it is wearable when my skin is flaking. I did think it looked quite nice all day long. I think at a conversational distance it still looks nice at the 10-hour mark. I think it is degrading fairly gracefully. We're going to go A- on this one. I'm alright with this. This one's really nice. You should check it out. Dry, mature skin. It's, oh, my nose is itchy. Cat hair. Ah. Dry skin, maturing skin. I think it's going to be okay. Slight issues with drying. If you're super dry, you might want to try it first before you buy it. But I'm going to give a thumbs up on this one. There you have it. Another Friday foundation fixes in the books. If you enjoy foundation reviews, if you like this one, if you'd like to see more of them, thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments what foundations you would like to see. I keep a running list. I buy them every chance I get. If you want to see what I have already reviewed, I've got over 130 foundation reviews over on my website, geekoutofwater.com. Click the Foundation Fest link. There's a ranked, sortable, searchable spreadsheet that you can type in all kinds of words, get the results that you would like to see out of my list, and link back directly to the reviews. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Did I already say the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing? Don't know. Can't remember. But I appreciate your time. And I hope you all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.